episode of Education by Spencer. Today we'll be covering TEKS 67A, in which we're going to introduce ourselves to exponents and how to calculate exponents using factor form. Okay, let's cover some vocabulary. Now, an exponent tells us how many times to multiply the base by itself. If we see we have 2 to the 4th power, our base is 2, our exponent is 4, and when we factor that out, it is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which equals 16. Now, to get a better understanding of the definition, the little number 2 is called the index or the power, and it tells us how many times to multiply out the big number 5. The big number 5 is called the base, and what we multiply together. If we look, we have 5 to the 2nd power of 5 cubed, which equals, 5 squared, which equals 5 times 5. This also in standard form will be 25. So all we do is simply multiply 5 2 times, and we multiply 5 times 5. Now, the word form is another thing that we will have to cover in this particular lesson, and this will help us out in future lessons. When we speak in exponential or exponents, 4 to the 1st power is simply 4 in standard form. All we're doing is multiplying 4 times 1. Now, when we go 4 to the 2nd power, or 4 squared, it is 4 times 4. 4 to the 2nd power, and this is equal to 16. The misconception about this is, a lot of times when kids see 4 to the 2nd power, they end up multiplying 4 times 2 and get 8. That is the biggest misconception about exponents. And then we have 4 to the 3rd power, or 4 cubed. This is simply 4 times 4 times 4 when we factor it out. And this will give us 64. And the last example I want to give you is 4 to the 4th power. Y'all, we're not going to make it complicated. It's simply 4 being multiplied by itself 4 times. And instead of us getting 16 if we were adding, we would end up with 256. We're multiplying 4 times 4, which gives us 16. And then we're multiplying 4 times 4, which gives us 16. Then we're multiplying 16 times 16, which gives us 256. Now, today we will focus on writing exponential, factor form, and standard. Most of our problems will be given us in factor form. We want to put it in exponential form, as well as calculate it out to the standard form. Now, our successful criteria was, once we read the word problem, we have to identify what they're asking us, what operation is needed to solve the problem. We will write expressions using factor form. We will solve expressions using PEMDAS, which is the same as standard form. And we will write expressions using exponential forms at the end. Here's the word problem for today. A sports memorabilia collectors has 3 times 3 times 3 1980s baseball cards and 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, I believe, 1990s football cards. Write the number of baseball cards and football cards in exponential form and standard. The first thing I want to do is start off in standard form. So I'm gonna set it up. Memorabilia cards, I have my numbers, and I'm classifying 1980 cards with 1990 cards. So I circled my I didn't want to circle the numbers, but I got the categories boxed in. I want to underline the question. And I guess I will go back in and circle the numbers. So here we go. And now I want to circle one key word that will tell me exactly what to do. When I see 1980s and 1990 cards, and then when I read it, write the number of baseball and football cards. These two words let me know that I need to add. So I'm going to write it up real quick. We have 3 times 3 times 3 plus 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Now, I'm going to use PEMDAT to solve. I'm going to start 3 times 3 is 9 plus 4 times 4 is 16 and 4 times 4 is 16. 9 times 3 is 27 plus 16 times 16 is 16 times 16 is 256. Now, I'm simply going to add these up. It will give me 283. Now, before I move on, I want to write it exponentially. And all I would do is just simply count how many 3s I got. I have 3 3s. So 3 3s would be 3 to the 3rd power plus 4 to the 4th power. Now let me check my work. This is what your work should have looked like. You should have wrote an expression. You should have showed the factors, wrote it out, and then you should have solved each factor using PEMDATs, and then you should have wrote it in standard form, and you should have finally finished up writing it out in exponential form, which is 3 to the 3rd power plus 4 to the 4th power. Now, we move on. Before I end the lesson, I want to let you know what your answer choices might look like on the ACP test. And we would have immediately eliminated this choice, operations, and the exponents are incorrect. We'd have eliminated 49. We would have eliminated 7 to the 7th power because 7 to the 7th power is greater than 283. We know that 283 is our correct answer. We would have eliminated 12 to the 7th power. We know that 3/4 is our answer. And we would have eliminated 84. Oops, excuse me, wrong one. Alright, so now that we understand the question, let's move on to the next lesson. I hope this helps you out a lot. Enjoy your time.